Well, good morning, everybody. I'm meteorologist Taylor Stephenson. Right now, I am tracking some severe weather moving through the area as we speak, and this is going to be pretty much the first of maybe a few warnings we'll have as we head throughout today. Right now across the area, and I'm turning on the Facebook chat so that if you have any questions about what's going on today in general, we can talk about it as well. So for us across central Georgia, we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 6:15 a.m. This includes Lamar, Pike, and Upson counties. And this has been tracking from over the border of Alabama all the way through here, maintaining intensity. I mean, just look at the lightning strikes within this. Now, of course, there's a few things that have to go within a severe thunderstorm, and the Weather Service has noted that this thunderstorm has an 1.5 inch diameter hail, so large hail, and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Now, this is really the thing that's going to be our biggest threat for today is large hail. We've already seen some storms out to our west producing 2-inch diameter hail, and it's been observed by people across parts of western Georgia. But again, the one for us right now is going to be the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Lamar, Pike, and Upson counties until 6:15 a.m. Now, this is all a part of this bigger system that is bringing weather for us not only today, but as we head into the next few days. And so for us, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect that has now spread into most of the northwestern quadrant of central Georgia. So again, our biggest threats for today are going to be that large hail, the gusty winds, damaging winds, and possibly a spin-up tornado. So again, just keeping an eye out for all of that today as we go through this. So I will run you through the timeline of what we're really expecting for today across the area. Brittany said what all is expected. So for today, what we're expecting, mainly our biggest threat is going to be large hail. That is really what we're really focusing on because we have so much lift or buoyancy in the air. It's going to push all that stuff up and make it fall down as hail. Now, again, this is only a part of a few severe thunderstorm warnings that have been going on in Alabama and Georgia, and they're all just going to track right through central Georgia. So for us, expect some of that coming through. I'm going to show you these graphics coming up to show you what the timing we could expect for this would be. Okay, so again, this is our severe storm outlook for today. All of central Georgia in a level 2. The level 3 risk is just to our west, right across the Alabama border. But for us, level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. Again, the main threat being that large hail, which we've already seen, again, with observed stuff in western Georgia of 2-inch diameter hail. So I'll go back to the live radar to show you where everything is popping up from, and it's all stemming from that little sector that we just saw with a level 3 of all these storms way back in Alabama. All of them, almost every single one, severe storm warned. So Evelyn saying hailing here now in Jemison. Yeah, that is what we're expecting, is this large hail. All of these storms from eastern Mississippi all the way into western central Georgia are all severe thunderstorm warned. So that is what we're expecting. Lots of lightning, heavy rain, and large hail. Of course, can we see a brief spin-up tornado? Absolutely. But what we're really focusing on is damaging winds, large hail, frequent lightning. So let's go and see what we're looking at in terms of hail size right now. I mean, look at these, what we call a hail swath, and these hail gradients. That right here, just north of our area, is just south of where the Weather Service is in Peachtree City, near Sonoya. We're talking hail closer to maybe 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches. Will the watch be extended to counties east? I'm absolutely expecting, yeah, Charles is actually right, absolutely right. When we see those storms starting to move that direction, the watch will be extended, because earlier, around 3 a.m., they released the severe thunderstorm watch, and it only included maybe a few of our counties. Now it includes a majority of our northern counties. So I expect that to be extended to places like Hancock, Washington, Baldwin, all of those. But again, this is what we're really looking for, this really large hail. So the one that we're looking at, the severe thunderstorm warning, that is in our area that's producing hail, right just south of Gay and north of Woodbury, is producing hail around 1 inch, 1.5 inches. So if you have cars outside and you live not in this area, if you are underneath that severe thunderstorm warning, do not go outside. But what I'm telling you is that if you live in places that are going to be east of here, so maybe Forsyth, Gray, Milledgeville, make sure to park your cars indoors if possible, or underneath an awning, just to mitigate hail damage. So again, this is all just like the start of what we're going to start seeing. Notice that we even have some more activity starting to spark in central Upson County, and then we have all these storms that are going to be tracking through our area, already sparking in Alabama. Good morning, everybody. Dime size, Evelyn says, and thank you for telling us that. So for us, what we're expecting is these storms to maintain intensity. They have been tracking for a while and have not really lost their pool. So I will pull up our graphic to show you what we're expecting in terms of the rest of the day. So the high resolution model has been doing super well when it comes to tracking this system, especially yesterday. So I wanted to show you the model that I agree with the most, that has been the most reliable. This one is not really picking up much right now, but this is what it's expecting around noon. And that's basically where you see where all those storms are firing, is where that boundary that we were talking about yesterday, the stalled front, has stalled. So anything south of that has a potential to see some type of severe weather. So this is noon, 5 p.m. We get a little bit of a break, and then maybe a resurgence around 7-ish before we calm down. Now Monday is where we get a next band of heavy storms, some heavy showers, maybe some lightning, a little bit of hail too, and then stuff should start to clear out really as we head into Monday and Tuesday. But for us, again, this is all a part of this stalled front that it's a part of the cold front that rolled through yesterday that stalled right there across parts of central Georgia, and then lifted north and became stalled. So that's why we had the severe thunderstorm watch. The previous watch was until 9 a.m. I'm gonna see if this has been updated at all by the Weather Service. Let's see. I'm gonna get you guys the updated information about what's going on here. There's just so much going on in the chat room that we have with the Weather Service, because they are tracking so many storms. When I get that information, I will update you guys on what's going on with the severe thunderstorm watch. But again, for us, the severe thunderstorm warning for Lamar and Upson County, it goes till 6:15, so we still have a good 30-ish minutes on that. But what I want you to notice is the stuff firing just south of it. This is the stuff we could see tracking all the way. So right now, we are expecting to see, again, large hail is our main threat. I'm gonna get the most updated information on this, how fast this is going, so I can give you some timing on who should see this storm next. If if y'all have any questions, you can always drop them in the chat. I know it's, this is just round two, day two of storms that we had yesterday, since yesterday and today. So I know it can be a lot. So if you ever have questions, feel free to just drop them and I will look at them. And let's see. Oh, okay. So this one for Lamar, Upson, and Pike County is moving at 40 miles an hour. So I'm gonna track this storm using that knowledge of knowing that it's going 40 miles an hour. So let's take this cone, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit again. This is where the storms are right now. So if you're in Barnesville, you need to be inside, if possible, especially if those who are gonna be going out and about soon. The heaviest stuff is just outside of Lamar County. So South Bib checking in, hello, good morning everybody. Evelyn said it's gone over now. Yep. These storms moving very, very quickly. So the Rock, you're up next. Barnesville, you're up next. Forsyth, just be on the lookout. If you're gonna cross I-75 within the next 15 minutes, I wouldn't. Just because that is where this track is going. Okay, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna do this and then track it here. Okay, so for the next few-ish minutes, Rose Hill, you're gonna see this storm in about 2 minutes. Vega in about 5:50. Piedmont at 5:54. Barnesville is about 6 a.m. when that gets on your doorstep, and then Goggins and Collier after 6 a.m. So just be aware. Again, we're gonna go looking back at this hail one more time because that's the main reason that they're sparking these severe thunderstorm warnings is because of the very large hail that we're seeing. So the hail has died down a little bit. I will show you going back what it looked like. Notice how the colors were much brighter before they started making their way into central Georgia, which is good news for us, which means this storm is weakening as it rolls through. But we're still seeing 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch hail, maybe even closer to 1 inch as you head into extreme northwestern Upson County. Yeah, they're passing by pretty quick, Lauren. Macon and Warner Robins, are they in the clear? I would say no, they're not in the clear because this is just the beginning. So this is where Macon and Warner Robins is in relation to the hail. And I feel like there's some storms that are starting to develop. Notice this small little hail is developing into western parts of Upson County. That's just due west of Macon. So that storm itself could track because again, we're seeing some development of these storms right there in that little area just south of Thomaston. So Culloden, you're up next. Our severe thunderstorm warning has been updated. So it includes just Lamar and Pike County. Again, that goes until 6 a.m. still. Barnesville, High Falls, Forsyth, be on the lookout. Zebulon, you're right in the middle of this. Lots of lightning. But yeah, I would not say that Macon and Warner Robins are out of the clear, like I said earlier, and I'll show you guys again because I know it's a lot of information to take in, is that Houston County is included in this severe thunderstorm watch. So just be aware of that and just be on alert. I'm gonna, again, like I said, I'm gonna see if I can show you guys like the bigger picture of what's really happening across the area. So live radar showing you basically that all these storms from eastern Mississippi to western parts of west central Georgia are all severe thunderstorm warned. So that is something to pay attention to, and especially because I have been tracking this since early this morning, and the storms that are firing off in Alabama have maintained intensity as they cross the Georgia border and have still produced large hail. So that is something to consider. Yes, so the severe thunderstorm watch, like I said earlier, it is updated. That is including everybody until 9 a.m. Of course, like we were saying earlier, that could expand east to places like Baldwin, Hancock, Washington, Wilkinson, as these storms progress east. Good question, Kelsey. Why are we not on TV? We do not go on TV unless it is a tornado warning. It just emphasizes the importance of that warning, and so that's really we go on air for tornado warnings. We stay on social for severe thunderstorms, so it has to be a tornado warning for us to go on air and disrupt the cable programming. So for, again, severe thunderstorm warning continues. Of course, you're seeing these really pinks and reds and pinks, heavy rain, hail. That's usually when we see the pink color, that's gonna be your hail core. So Meansville, down highway, that's Highway 18 and Highway 109. You're definitely seeing some of that hail. Barnesville, you're next to see some of this hail if you live down Highway 341 and Highway 36. Oh, no problem, Kelsey. No, it's a good question. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I completely understand. But yeah, we just do socials for severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, this is not including Monroe County, this severe thunderstorm warning, but I would assume if it maintains intensity, that it would include parts of, I-75, Forsyth, within the next, I would say, 20-30 minutes. Here's another severe thunderstorm that's coming off of the border, and this is what I'm talking about. These storms that are just tracking east through Alabama are just maintaining intensity and just bringing lots of lightning. I mean, intense lightning. Alexander City just covered in lightning strikes. Out in LaGrange, more lightning strikes, and then lightning strikes all over parts of western Georgia. Again, this is all on that same stalled system that is currently bringing, again, all this rain and intense storms to parts of the southeast. Kimberly asks, let me go back to Elizabeth. Is Crisp and Dooley included? Crisp and Dooley are not included in the severe thunderstorm watch, but they are included in the level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. And again, notice that this level 3 has expanded east, so it now includes Montgomery, and it's just outside of our viewing area. So something to consider. So Crisp and Dooley are not in the severe thunderstorm watch, but you are in a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. Can a severe thunderstorm turn into a tornado? Yes, it can. That's a good question. Yes, it absolutely can, but we have to have the right parameters. And a lot of times, what the Weather Service will say is that we have a severe thunderstorm with a tornado possible. And what that means is that they see that something's trying to rotate, not really getting its act together, but it's not a full, radar indicated or physically observed tornado. But yes, a severe thunderstorm can become a tornado warning if there's enough rotation. Right now, I can take you to the rotation and see what's really going on. And some of these are trying to get a little bit behind them, just broadly, but I think more this is gonna be your straight line wind threat. And it's just pushing all these gusty winds out as that rain falls. And sometimes we can get what we call microbursts. When we have really heavy rain pouring down in one area, as the rain hits the ground and spreads out, it creates winds on their own. So again, 60-mile-per-hour winds are still in the picture, along with that hail that we're seeing. And that hail right now, just outside of Lamar County, is now up to about 1 inch in diameter. The Weather Service has issued a strong thunderstorm that will impact Lamar, Upson, in Monroe until 6 a.m. So that's not a severe thunderstorm warning, which means it's just below the criteria for that. Let's see, just below the criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's just noting that this strong stuff will be rolling in soon. And I think that they're going with, this is the strong thunderstorm that will impact southwestern Monroe, northeastern Upson, and southeastern Lamar counties. So this is the one they're talking about that's trying to get its act together, but not enough for a severe thunderstorm. And to have a severe thunderstorm, you need to have wind speeds of over 58 miles an hour. And usually to trigger a severe thunderstorm, you probably need about an inch diameter hail. So that's something to consider. But with this storm that's moving now towards Culloden, Thomaston, into parts of southwestern Monroe County, the Weather Service says that you can expect winds up to 40 miles an hour and penny-sized hail, and of course frequent lightning. Now, of course, with this, if you see anything and we saw some good hail pictures yesterday, be careful when you send pictures to us, but we would love to see your pictures, take them safely. Any power outages or trees down with this storm history? Good question. I would have to go on Twitter to see if anything is going on, but that's a great question. I'm actually gonna do that right now because I have Twitter open to see if anything's really going on in parts of Alabama. Right now, just skimming through Twitter, I don't really see much on any damage right now. Oh, let's see. Okay, here we go. Billy Green, he's an EMA director in Alabama, had some pretty large hail. I mean, it was bigger than quarter size. It might have been half dollar size hail, so pretty large hail. Inch in diameter, inch and a half. So in terms of hail, these are definitely bringing some of that hail through the area. So yes, but in terms of actual damage, I haven't seen any so far, just skimming, but of course we'll keep going through that. That's a great question. So is it gone from Macon, and can I go to sleep again? Well, Macon hasn't even gotten hit yet. Macon probably will start to see some action type of storms within, I would say, the next hour or two. So your threat hasn't even begun yet. Yeah, like Sheila said, it hasn't even reached us. I know the watches are over at 9 a.m., Jessica says, but is this an all-day weather event? This is not an all-day weather event, but I will say the opportunity for rain will be all day, and that's kind of unfortunate. So I'll take you through the timeline again with the high-resolution model, and compare it to the graph model as well. Again, high resolution not doing so great with what's going on now, but this is noon. 3 dying down, maybe some sparking activity around 6 to 7, and then rain again at 10, and our next rain chance comes early tomorrow morning. The graph model says, here's the storms rolling through. This is 8 a.m. Notice that this is a very different model solution, but take it with a grain of salt comparatively. 8 a.m. really going through Macon, Warner Robins, all the way up into Eatonton, Milledgeville. And then 1 p.m. more storms coming through, 3 p.m. once again, 6, 7, 8, 11, and then restarting again around midnight to 3 a.m. on Monday. So yes, it is an all-day event. In terms of the rainfall, I don't know, in terms of the severe threat, it really depends on how many storms fire off. Again, these models are not handling this system very well. But also it depends if these storms that we're seeing right now on our radar are going to suck up all of the energy and the moisture that we have in the atmosphere, then storms later may not be able to get going because they don't have the ingredients they need. So it's possible that we could see rain later, but it may not be severe because it just doesn't have the energy or the moisture behind it to get going. Yes, Kimberly made a good point. Bring your pets inside, cats included. Absolutely. Absolutely. They need to come inside. Everybody needs to be indoors. Now, if you are in places, Barnesville, you are getting a lot of lightning, heavy rain with hail sizes around an inch. And like I was saying earlier, this storm that they deemed a strong thunderstorm that's just west of Culloden is trying to gain intensity. So this is what I'm talking about in terms of storms today. They may not be severe just yet, but they're really trying to get their act together in terms of that. So some hail now coming down in parts of southwestern Monroe County. We did get a local storm report from an emergency manager out in Troup County, and he says that they got ping pong ball size hail, which is about 1.5 inches. So that's definitely possible, but I think that the larger hail is still larger than 2 inches, or around 2 inches is still possible as well. Again, more severe thunderstorm warnings rolling in as these storms cross the border. I mean, you had this huge storm out into parts of extreme eastern Alabama. And again, the severe thunderstorm warning that we're looking at, Lamar and Pike, is in effect until 6:15 a.m. So I will take you guys through again, just showing you what we're expecting for today. So for us, a level 2, but just to our immediate west, we're seeing a level 3 out of 5 risk. So obviously severe thunderstorms likely. We've already seen one today. Our main threat being large hail, but we can't rule out damaging winds, brief tornado, all of that. I showed you guys earlier what we were expecting in terms of what time the rainfall is. It's going to be all day, but hopefully this energy from this morning gets taken away with the moisture and storms can't get through as well. So once these storms pass through, we're expecting wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour, and that should die down as we head into the rest of the day. In terms of the graph that we use for tornado potential, seeming like tornado potential is going to be on the lower end early this morning, but by mid-morning, we're starting to get into those greens and yellows, which is more of a low to medium type range. So just be on the lookout for that as well around 10 a.m. as those storms, like I said, in Alabama start to move through the area. Because again, like I was saying earlier, the storms that we're seeing in Mississippi and Alabama have maintained intensity for hours. These storms have started to get going around 2, 3 in the morning. So that's one of the concerns for us, is maybe this chance for a weak tornado around the mid-morning hours. So please stay weather aware. I know a lot of us are trying to go to church this morning. You're trying to maybe go to Cherry Blossom. Just be super careful and weather aware, of course, if you need some alerts you can go through. Now this is 11 to 12 as storms track through. 3 p.m. the intensity goes down, maybe raising back up again early Monday morning as storms roll through. Yes, I can definitely show the future view again, of course. Let me go get it again, the future view. So this is 9 a.m. 1 p.m. I think I'm actually going to agree with the high resolution model for now, because of where that boundary, that solid front is staying and how these storms are already tracking. They're tracking more to our extremely northern parts of the area. So for places like Milledgeville, Eatonton, your stuff is going to be coming later this afternoon. Later today, so don't let your guard down. But this is really showing us where the heaviest stuff will be. Now again, that tornado potential was right around here between the 10 to like 2 p.m. hour. I'll show the tornado potential again before I come back to this graphic. But tornado potential 11-12. So that's where that is. It may be a little what we call displaced, or just not in alignment with where the storms will actually be. So that might be better news for us, but it's still there as those storms roll through our eastern counties. So it's something to be aware of. Again, we're gonna go back through that future view so I can show you what's going on. And again, y'all, I know that it's early and you probably want to see this on air. We do have our show at 7 a.m. So once this severe thunderstorm warning ends, we still have about 9 minutes on it. We'll transition to, being on air unless anything drastic happens again or a severe thunderstorm warning pops up again. Well, I'll tell you everything on air as well. So again, this is noon. 3, 4, and then maybe some more rain around dinner time, and then we're gonna see some light rain late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Now, as you're getting up and out, maybe some early risers, going to work, heavy rain, maybe a storm or two early, and then we should clear out Monday into Tuesday. Now this model only goes out about 36 to 48 hours. So I will show you the graph model, which goes out a little bit further. So that's Monday morning. It's pretty much showing the same thing. And then this is Monday night. Tuesday, this is mid-morning. Storms again Tuesday afternoon and rolling out. So, but I think that after Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning, we should be good on rain. Now, overall, we should see about maybe 2 to 3 inches of rain across the area, so lots of rain. So just be careful of just localized flooding. Let's see what this chat is saying. So this severe thunderstorm warning for parts of our area is now only confined to central and eastern Lamar County. Someone said, what about Dexter? Well, in Dexter, you're dry. Again, not in that severe thunderstorm watch at all either. I will show that graphic again. This is where the severe thunderstorm watch is located. Twiggs, Houston, Macon counties, and north. So right now, no rain. And what I'm thinking is you guys will probably see some rain, but I think the most intense storms are going to be to your north because this boundary layer is set up really right around like this area where you see these storms tracking. This is where the stalled front is. The closer to the front you are, the stronger those storms are going to be. So if you are places like Vidalia and McRae, you may see some type of rain, but I think the most intense storms are going to be in this kind of area as we make a line. I'm gonna make a line really from Butler to Perry all the way, maybe Dexter, maybe. But like if you go past this line, I think the storms in this area will not be as intense as the storms we're seeing right now. And again, notice the way they're tracking. Straight east, maybe a little bit northeast, but right through this area, and the line between I-20 and I-16. Good morning. So yes, we still have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Lamar County. And that's until 6:15, so we have about 5 minutes left on this. Again, still a strong storm as you head into parts of Lamar, Monroe, and Upson. We just got a discussion from the Storm Prediction Center, which is based in Norman, Oklahoma. And sometimes they give us discussions about what they should see. So like we were talking about earlier, with this severe thunderstorm watch spread east, and what the Storm Prediction Center is saying is yes, we are very likely to get a severe thunderstorm watch, a new one, an updated one, including parts of into Putnam, Hancock, Washington counties, that area, very soon. So they're expecting in this capable of producing large hail. That's the main thing, is that large hail. So they're expecting to put an updated severe thunderstorm watch in effect for our northeastern counties. So that's what we were talking about earlier. We're going to look at some of the hail within this storm as well to see if this is intensifying, picking up. And they just extended that severe thunderstorm warning into Jasper, Jones, Jasper, Jones, Monroe, and Putnam counties. And that's until 7 a.m. And again, the large hail is really coming down around an inch, maybe a little bigger than an inch in hail diameter. And again, I'll show you this updated severe thunderstorm warning as you hear the bell going off here. So we have a huge one. So the storms that were way back here, the ones that they were saying in Thomaston, that they were like, it's a strong storm. This one right here has now tried to converge with the one that already produced the severe thunderstorm warning. So now that's into effect for parts of Forsyth, about to go over I-75, Juliet, Round Oak, Gray, south parts of Monticello into Stanfordville, and this is until 7 a.m. So again, the severe thunderstorm warning is just coming. They're expecting severe thunderstorm warning again. Let's see. They're expecting an inch and a quarter diameter hail for this one. Winds up to 60 miles an hour. Not really seeing, let's see, the gusty winds. We're seeing a few gustier winds coming down. Let's see. Obviously the red and green showing you the different directions of the winds in relation to our radar. But gusty winds in that, the brighter the color, the stronger the winds are. And then hail sizes, starting to see some greens now. So yeah, that is about an inch and a quarter. And that's about to go over I-75. So again, if you are in places like Forsyth, Bolingbroke, north sides of Macon, please do not drive on the roads right now. It is not the best idea. Coral said, good morning, Coral. Coral said, hailing in Johnsonville Road in Forsyth. Yeah, so like that right at that part of I-75. Yeah, again, if you, Coral, if you can safely, maybe after the storm passes, take some pictures of the hail. Again, after the storm passes you, please do not go out in the storm, and send it to us, or just put it on Facebook and tag us. That'd be great, so we can see what's going on. And that also helps the Weather Service verify what's going on, so they can see their accuracy, and also be aware of what's coming for other places in our area. So again, she's over here on this north side of Monroe County, and let's see what the hail is looking like now. Yeah, so again, that green, that little green color right here in this middle. Well, it was green earlier. Now the newest update is going to be more of a yellow, is right around an inch diameter hail, with lots of hail coming down. Oh, you're good. You know, no worries, Coral. No worries. I understand. So yes, that's what we're dealing with today. Is going to be this large hail. We're also going to be, again, keeping an eye out for any type of try to spin up tornadoes when we ever see green or red next to each other. That shows that it's trying to rotate. Right now, I'm not seeing anything that's really sparking my eye too much. But when you see stuff like this is just outside of our area for Butts, Henry, and Spalding counties. The bright red is going to be some of your stronger winds. So we can even take a little query of that as I'm going to erase that and then take off that warning box. And I'll show you the wind speeds. 40 miles an hour. Maybe you could see something higher. Let's see. 41. So getting into that criteria, but as that heavy rain falls down, again, like it spreads out, and that creates those really gusty winds that we see. Put this warning boxes back on and then show you what's going on. Okay, so yeah, we have this huge severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Jasper, Jones, Monroe counties. And again, this is not including Macon. But what I will say is that the lightning strikes are starting to head into parts of Bibb County. So don't go outside and not be aware that there is lightning. You know, lightning can flash. Lightning can strike about 10 miles away from a storm. So don't let your guard down, even if you're in North Bibb County, because even though it may be just lightly raining, there are still lots of lightning strikes going on up there, just at the border of Bibb, Monroe, and Jones counties. So for this storm, it is moving at 45 miles an hour. Again, like I said, these storms are really, really racing across the area. So for us, let's just take this huge line and go 45. So Dames Ferry, this should be on your doorstep and then right now. Round Oak, around 6:26. Gray around 6:32. Eatonton around 6:45, and then Blandy around 6:50. Milledgeville closer to 7 a.m. But again, these storms are maintaining intensity, if not gaining intensity in some cases, like the one that we saw developing in Upson County. So just be careful of that. Hailing in the High Falls area. Yes, that's where we're seeing some of that inch diameter hail. Thanks for that report, Mitzi. Coral said, so no tornado warnings yet? Correct. No tornado warnings. And also, sometimes on severe thunderstorm warnings, they'll have like a tornado possible, what we call a little tag. And none of these have had the tornado possible tag. So that's good news for us. But like I said, the tornado potential is, and I'm going to show that graphic right now, the tornado potential is going to go up as we head into the mid-morning. And that all has to do is with sunshine and heat. It's already really warm outside. I'll show you temperatures first because it is very warm. Storms need temperatures and really high dew points, like high temperatures, high dew points. It is already 72 degrees in Macon at 6 in the morning. And even where these storms are now, 69 in Forsyth. So like there's a lot of warm air. And so when you have warmer air, and of course, when you get to the daytime, we get more sunlight, we warm up. So that increases our tornado potential. So for right now, our potential is not zero, but it's not high. It's very, very low. That potential, notice the yellows and greens building on the Alabama-Georgia border around 9 a.m. by mid-morning, 10 a.m., 11 a.m., into early afternoon, noon 1, that's where our tornado potential gets higher. Now again, this is not going to be your levels 4 and 5 on, you know, the 1 to 5 scale in terms of, you know, severe storms, but it is a low medium risk for that spin up tornado potential. And that's when some of those storms will be tracking through parts of the area through the afternoon and evening. Megan's traveling from South Carolina to Warner Robins. What time should I leave South Carolina? I probably would have left you probably should leave as soon as possible, I would say. Because these storms are heading straight for South Carolina. So either way you put it, you're gonna be driving straight into the storms. So I would go as soon as possible, because the storms that we're seeing now, and I'll put it on this way, they're building now here in central Georgia, and they're going to continue to build into South Carolina. So either way you put it, you're going to be driving through it. So I would go as soon as possible and take your time and be careful. And Katie's in Augusta for a work trip. Is it heading that direction? And then we'll be heading home around lunchtime. Yeah, it is heading straight for Augusta. As you see, these storms are heading pretty much due east, with a little bit of a northeast track. So yeah, Augusta is heading straight for Augusta. Augusta is included in that level 2 risk as well, so they're expecting some of that large hail. And like I was saying earlier, the Storm Prediction Center, which puts out those risk for severe weather, they have highlighted the Augusta area in the expected watch area, or severe thunderstorm watch area they're going to release very soon. So Augusta area is going to be underneath the severe thunderstorm watch very, very soon. So yes, it is going to be right in that area. As you head home, it's going to be right there. Muzella, let's go down to there. And then I'm going to try to hop off for a second, so that we can get ready for the show at 7 a.m. because I'll have so much more information then, and we can really break it down together. So Muzella, you're right underneath the severe thunderstorm warning, but notice how even though it's barely even sprinkling there, you're getting lots of lightning flashes. So I would not go outside, because again, lightning can strike 10 miles away from the storm, as you're seeing it is. So be very careful, but right now, maybe just a sprinkle, no hail. The hail that we're seeing right now is gonna be right here, trying to cross I-75 at the moment. And notice how it's just 3 big hail cores in a row. 1, 2, 3. And 2 of them are in Monroe County. And this is all heading this direction, generally this direction, east. So Round Oak, Juliet, Burner, Gray, Bolingbroke, you guys are up next. Stephanie said the weather's supposed to be bad this morning in Macon. So right now, it depends on how if I would do DoorDash this morning, I would get it done as soon as possible, because thankfully the storms are tracking a little bit north of Macon, but we're seeing the potential for some of these storms to develop. So see how, I'm gonna go back to this one real quick. See how this one in Thomaston grew over about a 30-minute period? That could be a potential for places like Bibb County of seeing some storms grow. But if you have to do an early morning route, I would do it as soon as possible, because right now you're not seeing any severe weather, but again, still a possibility for us as we head throughout the day. And again, we have to pay attention to these storms as we head out to our west that are producing storms as well. And like I was saying earlier, these storms have maintained intensity as they've traveled through Alabama and traveled through Georgia, producing hail 1 to 2 inches in diameter. And again, that's gonna be our main threat for today, but even with the tornado risk, it's not 0. So it's something to consider. So for now, I'm going to hop off real quick so that we can get ready for the 7 a.m. show. Make sure to tune in to the show. Again, the severe thunderstorm warning we have in effect for right now is going to be for Jasper, Jones, and Monroe County until 7 a.m. I expect that if this maintains intensity, that we'll be back on air again with that same storm, but heading towards Lake Sinclair, Sparta, Milledgeville. And this is just one of the mini storms that may be rolling through the area today, so just be weather aware for us. But again, we're going to be on weekend morning at 7 a.m. Tracking all these storms together. So stay weather aware. Make sure to turn on your alerts at the 13 WMAZ mobile app. If you have any reports of hail, if you have any images of hail, please take them safely, first of all. But second of all, if you have them, first send them to the National Weather Service, either on Twitter, Facebook, email, so they can have their verification, and then send them to us so that we can show them as well and show them on air. All right, you guys, please be safe today. Again, severe thunderstorm warning, and again, in effect again until 7 a.m.